When Animusic came out, it was kind of like a cool high-end video for you to put on your new massive TV screen that you just got for the guest bedroom or something. But lying beyond those generic MIDI sounds and xylophone balls was truly an art form. When the Animusic LLC decided one day to answer the age-old question of what if guitars could touch themselves, a miraculous product was put on market where even the most average individual could purchase it and buy it. That product was the first Animusic DVD, a 7-track album. And what an album it was. The disc starts out with Future Retro.
But how could it be retro if it's in the future?
It starts off by showing speakers we don't care about, and then the music begins. You can tell the first song is made to appeal to those who maybe didn't fully understand, because they kind of make it look like a band if all the members got replaced by those arms that spill ice cream at the mall. Already starting on this song, you can see one of the tropes of the series where if they have no idea what to animate for an instrument, they just put a laser that rotates around. But if we ignore that laser in the corner, what we really have here is just a regular song. Am I mad? No, if a regular song is all you need, then you can just use a regular song. It switches to this cool part with lightning and then fades out and ends. The next song, Stick Figures, is probably the worst song on Animusic because it's just a bunch of instruments shoved into a room. Yes, the roof may be space, but that's just so the lasers can leave. You can see they let up on some of the realism a bit by having floating sticks for the xylophone here. I don't think horns do that when they get played. Aqua harp is a harp next to water, can you believe it? I just mostly like how the camera spins around in this one. Gears can be an instrument too, or at least that's what Drum Machine is attempting to make us believe. If someone wants to go in here and determine all the inaccuracies with the gear connections, that can be a fun way to spend your afternoon, but I don't really care, because there's going to be a lot more drum-only songs coming up. It was a bold move, but they had to do it. They knew Pipe Dream was going to be their biggest hit, but they held off and put it in the middle. I wonder how many PVC pipes they sold off the strength of just this one video. I like when this inefficient ass train comes through so they can just have one pipe here. Overall, this animation is a great exercise in ignoring the way the pressure would work by having the input and output be on the same tube. When the song is over, they go to sleep. Acoustic Curves is one of those times where Animusic experiments with not caring at all about where the video takes place in. If I looked up my chimney and I saw two machines that played harpsichord music, I would be afraid. And then they bring back the bells from Pipe Dream, even though this time it has arms that could have just been on them in the first place. Why is this world so inefficient? The Animusic LLC decided to wrap this DVD up with Harmonic Voltage, where they really stopped caring about realism and started caring about purple instead. This is probably top 2 songs on the first DVD, and you know they know as well, because this song is 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Oh my goodness, I hope you really like. With all those 7 tracks over, that wraps up their first DVD release, but you know my boy David wasn't going to be satisfied with just one, so they started work on a sequel, and this time they were going to go crazy. Starship Groove kind of starts the opposite way the first DVD did, by establishing a less real stage setup, but by being played by more humanoid robots. Why would you betray me like this, guys? I thought people weren't real in this universe. But I don't know, they're kind of chill. The way they move kind of looks like Minecraft animations. I'm gonna add that this spaceship fucking sucks. Where is anything? Do they just ride on top of it forever? What if they crash into an asteroid? Pogo Sticks takes every problem I had with stick figures and goes, ooh, let me create the biggest banger ever created. This animation for a song that sounds like a really shitty country fair commercial has it all. Dynamic character relationships, a gripping plot, instrument reveals, the green tunnels where everything goes slow, and perhaps the largest Animusic map ever created, unless the Aqua Harp is just really massive or something. Could you imagine walking in your local park and seeing this go past? Would you kneel and support our heroes? This is the all-time great of Animusic. Whenever you think of this animation series, there should be no other song that comes into your head, unless you're a weird freak that likes Resonant Chamber. I don't like it. I don't like the way they move and... Oh, okay, this song's actually pretty good. I'm still not buying this house, though. Cathedral Pictures is kind of like a little nod to all the OG Animusic supporters by going back to mostly instruments that exist being played by robot arms. This truly feels like a cut off Animusic 1. Don't miss the, I don't know, is that a camel on the drums there? Pipe Dream 2 is just a really big cash grab on their part. The set is barely different from the first one. The only good part of this is the special feature where you can watch the see-through mode. Pipe Dream 2 is good, but what they should have done is make it in real life. Turns out, Gods Amongst Humanity Intel decided to take things into their own hands and literally build real-life Pipe Dream. In fiber bundles, who even cares about instruments anymore? I don't know, it's probably fine. I'm not going to care about every single song they make. Gyro drums, gyro drums, gyro drums. Bro, it's so fire to see new parts of the drums being added, and then you get to hear how they work with the song. Animusic 2 proved that they weren't afraid to go fire mode. Do you remember how for the last song on Animusic 1 they decided to have a weird sci-fi set with only lasers and drums with like a really long ass song? They didn't call it Animusic 2 for nothing. Or maybe they did, because the song is 22 seconds shorter than the original. And here in the credits you can see the man responsible for gyro drums, also known as the man whose picture I keep under the pillow when I go to bed. Animusic's 1 and 2 were a huge triumph for all fans of lasers used in place of regular instruments and drums used in place of drums. But Wayne and David had to run it back for the third time for the culture. However, in order to do that, they had to get it funded, so they decided to start a Kickstarter. Everybody knows only the greatest, most honest products that release in a timely manner find their home on Kickstarter, so they eventually managed to get all 200 racks they needed to begin the project. And then nothing happened for a while. Now, these DVDs are not all my boy Wayne has created with his little animated music idea. It all really started with his first project, which is this, More Bells and Whistles. You can kind of see the first ideas being come up with, like music, the existence of drums, and even a laser. Best part of it though is he had no idea what to do for one of the instruments, so he added these green things. The 90s were weird. They gave us Estonia, but what they also gave us was Beyond the Walls. Kind of a way of telling if you're a real fan or not is by if you know this one. This was originally created to be a 3D glasses test video, so there were a lot of moments where things, whoa, go really close to the screen or fly far away. Everybody gangsta till the plane drums pull up. Lots of people know about those first two videos, but did you know that band Kansas teamed up with Animusic in 2002 to create an album cover and tour visuals? They should have worked with Osama-san. Even after multiple Kickstarter announcements were created, it was clear no actual progress on Animusic 3 was actually being made. So with no new content from the big dogs themselves, videos started popping up in the style of the original DVDs but being made by independent YouTube creators instead. Fans decided to take it into their own hands and make their own Animusic. This is where it gets harder to put a specific order on things, so here are just the videos that stand out. Popcorn. It's fine, mostly just an animation of actual instruments being played by popcorn men. This does have the first ever explosion in an Animusic like. I know, y'all sleeping on Shadow Song though. Check out the gloves. A lot of these independent creators can't stop at just one song though. Panda has made 45. That's more than the original people actually made, what the hell. But Panda has absolutely nothing on the greatest to ever do it, David Hugger. I'm a David Hugger supporter until the day I die. If David Hugger has 0 fans, I am died in ditch. Look at these graphics, look at the wheels, listen to this music. You can tell he was a star prospect, because after making these he went on to make, oh my goodness, what the hell, and a Game Boy Color game. What a person. But how does that bring us into the modern day? Long after most of this wave of fan creation has died down, the team at Animusic has barely released any updates to the fans or really released anything at all. Maybe we can see if their website can provide any clarification. Okay, I can believe this. This is Animusic for sure. Don't lie, this software looks like either a mess or the most fun thing ever to work with. A shame they aren't using it. But let's see what they actually have to say about their project so far. In the physical world, sound is produced as a result of some stimulus. A drum sounds when the drum head struck by some moving object, stick, mallet, hand. A guitar sounds when its string vibrates as a result of some other object that moved, pick, finger, bow. Okay, what are we going with here? Skipping the whole subject of sound involving from vibration, traveling through a medium, usually air unless you're a whale. Bypassing the whole discussion about the music really only being in one's brain, there's one critical fundamental aspect that I personally have embraced as the fundamental principle of the technique used by Animusic. Guys, I don't think they're okay. Cause and effect. The effect is the sound. What was this cause? Something moved resulting in something else vibrating. Obviously, the cause happens before the effect and may continue during the effect, but not always. Cause, drumstick hits drum, effect, short burst of sound. What does this have to do with anything? Anyone who's studied classic animation fundamentals has learned about the two bookends of an animated motion. Anticipation, follow through. Here, I'm gonna just go down a little bit more. The audio drives the visuals, thus the visuals react to the audio data. This is typically done by temporarily filtering discrete buckets along the audible frequency spectrum, which produces a stream of n floating point variables that can be used to drive any desired graphical parameter. This is the same website, this is the same page. I can't understand any of this. If this is the reason they haven't done anything in this long, I understand, because Well, no matter how the original creators are feeling, there's still a lot of love for the genre scattered around a few corners of the internet. Even to this day, a few modern Animusic-like videos are created, but even in the memory of the average person, fondness for those original 2 Animusic releases still remains, even if a combined $200,000 of the biggest fans' money were wasted. Funny about that,